This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. A special program will be implemented to formulate guidelines to be followed when opening national parks to local and foreign tourists in future. Sri Lanka has registered 31 more COVID-19 related fatalities confirmed by the Director General of Health Services today. The Finance Minister says the country will fully reopen through a vibrant economic management to provide concessions to the general public. Parliamentarian Rishad Badiuddin hospitalized. Rescuers race to find survivors as hundreds remain missing in Europe floods. That is the foreign news. On to the local news. A special program will be implemented by the Ministry of Wildlife and Conservation to formulate the guidelines to be followed when opening the national parks to local and foreign tourists in future. Minister C.B. Ratnayaka was engaged in an observation tour in the Min Area National Wildlife Sanctuary yesterday and looked into the shortcomings and the staff needed to operate successfully. He also advised the relevant authorities to provide speedy solutions to resolve the present problems. Sri Lanka has registered 31 more COVID-19 related fatalities confirmed by the Director General of Health Services today. The new development has pushed the official death toll from the virus outbreak in Sri Lanka to 3,733. According to the data released by the Department of Government Information, the latest victims confirmed today include 17 males and 14 females. The Minister of Health says 980 more persons were tested positive for the coronavirus so far today. This brings the total number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country thus far to 2,800 and 3,040. The officers in charge of community police units of the 200 public security committees established at 77 Grama Niladhari divisions in the Colombo district will begin their duties from Monday under new guidelines. A leaflet including guidelines in this regard has been issued. Under the pilot project, the complaints of the people who live in the Colombo city will be recorded. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Call 0718 800 999.
We continue with local news. MP Rishad Badiuddin, who is currently in the custody of the Criminal Investigation Department, has been hospitalized. According to police spokesman, Senior DIG Ajit Rohana, the parliamentarian had informed the CID officers that he is indisposed. Thereby, MP Badiuddin has been taken to the outpatient department of the Colombo National Hospital. Upon being examined by doctors, the parliamentarian was admitted to the ETU of the hospital, the police spokesman further said. All activities at the head office of the National Gem and Jewellery Authority in Kolopitia have been temporarily suspended due to a risk of the building sinking. The chairman of the authority, Tilak Veerasinghe, stated that officials from the Building Research Organisation had looked into the matter and advised him to evacuate the 4-storied building. He told the SLBC that the head office will be moved to the premises of the State Ministry of the Gem and Jewellery Industry in Narahenpita from Monday. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
An important announcement from HDFC Bank. A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999. HDFC. An important announcement from HDFC Bank. A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Enjoy special interest rates based on deposit amount and the government security. Call 0718 800 999. HDFC.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Minister of Finance Basil Rajapaksa says the government has taken priority to take measures to fully reopen the country through a vibrant economic management to provide concessions to the general public. The finance minister made this comment when he met with a group of heads of local government bodies at Temple Trees today. He said the present administration lost multiple local and international revenue streams due to the closure of the country on several occasions. He also stated that only by keeping the country open will the government be able to generate sustainable incomes. That was the main news story. Next we take a look at Watchlight.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight, it has been reported that the traditional art of puppetry in the southern province is gradually declining. This field was popular centering the Ambalangoda area and was very popular with the tourists. The craftsmen who engage in this field are economically down due to the lack of attention to develop this field. They request the relevant authorities to take measures to protect the traditional art of puppetry and bring it back to its former glory. That was a look at Watchlight. Next we take a look at the world news, and here are the headlines. Rescuers race to find survivors as hundreds remain missing in Europe floods. One killed in water crisis demonstration in Iran. US plans to send 3.5 million Moderna doses to Bangladesh soon. Rescue crews have been racing to find survivors of floods that have wreaked havoc across Western Europe, killing more than 150 people. Hundreds are still missing after record rainfall triggered severe floods in Germany and Belgium. Heavy rains also hit Switzerland, Luxembourg and the Netherlands, where PM Mark Rutte declared a national disaster in one southern province. European leaders have blamed the extreme weather on climate change. Experts say global warming makes torrential rains more likely. A man has been killed during a second night of protests over severe water shortages in southwest Iran, state media reports. An official in Khuzestan province said the protester was accidentally hit by people who were firing in the air, according to state news agency IRNA. Opposition sources accuse the security forces of causing the death. Iran is facing a severe drought, and there is growing public anger over water and power shortages. The death happened in the town of Shadgan. The pictures of a man have been shared widely across social media. The United States plans to send 3.5 million Moderna doses to Bangladesh over the weekend via the COVAX International Vaccine Sharing Program. The doses for Bangladesh will arrive on Monday, a White House official said. The country also sent 2 million doses of the vaccine to Ukraine under the program yesterday, the official said. The doses are part of President Joe Biden's promise to share doses of U.S. vaccines with other countries around the world via COVAX or directly. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Rescuers race to find survivors as hundreds remain missing in Europe floods. One killed in water crisis demonstration in Iran. US plans to send 3.5 million Moderna doses to Bangladesh soon. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is up next.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Several programs to encourage turmeric cultivators are being implemented in the Galle district. 600 kilograms of turmeric seeds have been cultivated in the Nagoda area in Galle. The expected turmeric harvest is 6,615 kilograms. The Export Agriculture Department said cultivation is being carried out successfully in the area. That was development news. Next, we take a look at sports news.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Sports news. The National Paralympic Committee of Sri Lanka will field a 9-member team of athletes for the 2020 Tokyo Paralympic Games. The squad will be led by former bronze medal winner at the Rio Paralympic Games, javelin thrower Dinesh Priyantha Herath. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka has qualified for a rowing event for the first time in the history of the Paralympics. The Tokyo Paralympics will take place from the 24th of August to the 5th of September at the Japan National Stadium, with more than 4,000 athletes competing in 540 events in 22 sports. Olympic athletes and officials are surging into Tokyo ahead of the Games opening ceremony in 6 days. Arrivals at the Narita airport, east of the capital, are due to peak from Saturday through Monday. Several hundred athletes and officials are expected today. An aircraft that landed at around 8:30 a.m. carried more than 100 Olympic delegates from the Netherlands, India and elsewhere. That was a look at sports news. Next is business news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The tea export revenue in June increased to 24.76 billion rupees, showing an increase of 3.39 billion rupees compared to 21.37 billion rupees as against June 2020. All main categories of exports have shown an increase compared to the corresponding period of 2020. Now that was business news. Economic news follows.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Hope of Sri Lanka program has commenced in order to create 50,000 youth entrepreneurs. The objective of this move is to strengthen the economy, creating small and medium-scale entrepreneurs. This program was initiated by the concept of the Sports Minister Nama Rajapaksa. Accordingly, new entrepreneurs will be selected at district level. The necessary financial assistance in this regard will be provided by the state banks. That was business news. Finally, we take a look at the weather report.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says showers will occur at times in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Kandy and Nuwara districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the Western Province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere during the evening or at night. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the Over, Eastern and North Central provinces. Fairly strong gusty winds, up to 40 to 50 kilometers per hour at times, are likely in the Western, Southern and Sabaragamuwa provinces. That was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. A special program will be implemented to formulate guidelines to be followed when opening national parks to local and foreign tourists in future. Sri Lanka has registered 31 more COVID-19 related fatalities confirmed by the Director General of Health Services today. The Finance Minister says the country will fully reopen through a vibrant economic management to provide concessions to the general public. Parliamentarian Rishad Badirin hospitalized. And in world news, rescuers race to find survivors as hundreds remain missing in Europe floods. Well, that was the headlines.